Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you guys number 1 and 2 from the 14-4 classwork. Simplify each expression, identify any restrictions on x, and show your work. So we're going to go through the same steps that you should have seen in the example. Step 1 was to factor the denominator. So these are my denominators here. I have x plus 1 and x minus 1. Now looking at our denominators, it doesn't look like they can be factored. I just have an x and a 1 and they're either added or subtracted. Factors are things that are multiplied. So I can't actually do step 1 here. I'm going to skip to step 2. Step 2 is to identify any restrictions. So I'm going to go ahead and take my denominators. And the restrictions are when the denominators equal 0. It can't equal 0. So if I solve this, I'm going to see that x cannot equal -1, so that's one restriction I'm going to have to include. And then for my second denominator, it also cannot equal to 0. And if I solve for x here, I get that x cannot equal to 1. So there are two restrictions here. Step 3 is to find the least common denominator by identifying and multiplying the common and uncommon factors. So if I look at my factors, I guess we could still call them, this is a factor, this is a factor, and well, they don't actually have anything in common. Yes, they both have x's and they both have 1s, but those aren't factors because they're not being multiplied. So they don't have anything in common, but they do have things that are different. So I would say that this is an uncommon factor and this is an uncommon factor, and the least common denominator would be x plus 1 times x minus 1. So now my goal is to make each denominator look like this. On the left side, I have x plus 1, but I don't have x minus 1. So I need to multiply the top and bottom by x minus 1. And then on the right side, I have x minus 1, but I don't have x plus 1. So I need to multiply the top and bottom of this one by x plus 1. So the top I can go ahead and distribute. I'm going to have 3x minus 3, and the bottom is that new denominator, x minus 1 times x plus 1. I can also distribute here. I can distribute the x to x plus 1, so I have x squared plus x, and again, the bottom is that same denominator that we now have. So the purpose of having that common denominator was so that we can subtract or add the fractions. Now that they're the same, we can go ahead and combine like terms on the very top. But I do need to recognize that since I'm subtracting here, that negative needs to get distributed to both terms in the second part. So sometimes rewriting this, I think, is helpful. So it's going to be minus x squared and not plus x, minus x. And then that same denominator that we had. Then we're going to combine our like terms, negative x squared plus 2x minus 3. And at this point, I'm almost done. I want to see if I can factor the top again at this point and see that there might be something that can cancel out because maybe this isn't simplified all the way. So on the top, I'm going to take out a -1. And then right away, I see 3 and -2. There's nothing that multiplies to a positive 3 and adds up to -2. So I actually can't factor this anymore, which means that my simplified form is negative x squared plus 2x minus 3. And my excluded values are 1 and -1, and I want to make sure that I include that in my final answer together as well. All right, so now let's look at number 2. We're going to follow those same steps we had before. We have 2 over x minus 3 over x cubed minus 3x. So the first thing I want to do is I want to look at my denominators and factor them if possible. On the left, I just have x, that's going to stay the same. On the right side, I see x cubed and minus 3x, so they both look like they have x. So if I factor out x, I'm going to have x squared minus 3. Now that I have all my denominators factored, step 2 is to identify those restrictions. I want to make sure I do that now, because if I wait, I might forget to do that later. So I have factors x and x, they're the same, so I could just do it once. X cannot equal 0, and that's it. For the other one, x squared minus 3, I may need to do more work for that one. So x squared minus 3 can equal 0. If I add 3 on both sides, x squared can't equal 3. Square root both sides, and x cannot equal plus or minus square root of 3. So my restricted values are 0, negative root 3, and positive root 3. So at this point, I factored, I've identified my restricted values. Step 3 is to go ahead and write my least common denominator. So I'm going to have to look at my denominators from this step here. I want to look at what we have in common. And what I see that they both have is x. So there's my common factor. And then I also want to identify what they don't have in common, and that is that x squared minus 3. So my least common denominator is x times x squared minus 3. So now I need to change it. So if I look at the right side, it already looks like that, so I don't need to change that. However, on the left, what the left side is missing is that x squared minus 3. So I'm going to multiply the top and bottom by x squared minus 3. So on the top, we can go ahead and distribute that so that we have 2x squared minus 6. And then the bottom should stay that factored form x times x squared minus 3. The right side is the same because we didn't do anything to it. It already had that least common denominator that we wanted. And now we're just going to combine the top. There's only one term on the right side, so I don't need to distribute. We're going to have 2x squared minus 9 all over x times x squared minus 3. At this point, I can't really factor it anymore to see if anything's going to cancel out. And so this is as simplified as it can get. And I also have my excluded values here.